Harrigan's phone. And it was about this billionaire who hired this young guy, this young kid, to start reading to him, start reading the book to him on a daily basis. And, fast forward a couple of years, the young guy was getting ready to go to college, and the billionaire ended up passing away. The young guy walked inside his mansion one day, sat down, was getting ready to read to him. Noticed that Mr. Harrigan, didn't. He was unresponsive, and the young guy, he was still like a kid. He didn't know what was going on, and he was like, maybe he's not dead because his phone is still texting me some kind of way. You got to look at the movie. It's somewhat of a psychological thriller, but Mr. Harrigan had passed away from heart disease. That's what they found. Mr. Harrigan passed away from heart disease. And it got me to thinking as a coach, there's a lot of people in America who pass away from strokes, cancer, but one of the number one killers is heart disease, guys. Okay? And, I want to talk about it because a lot of these health issues are lifestyle related health issues. Most people think that, when it comes to heart disease, it just comes to people who are in their later years, their 70s, their 80s, their 90s, which is somewhat typical because those people are more sedentary. But nowadays, a lot of people in their 30s, 40s, and 50s are also getting heart disease because they're very sedentary, especially busy professionals, the type of people who I help. Sitting down for long hours at a computer, doing deals on the phone, sitting down. Once you get off work, you're sitting down on the couch or you're laying down in the bed. So there's a lack of movement. And most people don't realize how these different lifestyle factors can affect their health, like heart disease, which is caused by like plaque buildup, things like high cholesterol, higher triglyceride levels, things like that in their body, in their arteries. And so it affects not just their arteries, but their heart, the heart health. And so it's very important that you pay attention to these things because if you notice you have brain fog on a daily basis, you notice that you're always tired on a daily basis. You notice that you're trying to eat healthy, but you're not losing weight, okay? You notice that you're having poor quality of sleep. I lost fingers. I'm out of fingers over here. You're having poor quality of sleep. All these things are lifestyle related, guys, all right? These are symptoms of a bigger problem. And so if you're very inconsistent, because one of the issues that I see from a lot of people who reach out to me and who I help, they're very inconsistent with their activity level in the gym and exercising. Guys, that's no good. That's a problem. Because if you want to be able to perform at a high level in your career and with your family by having energy, having confidence, looking good, feeling good, you got to take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself. Okay, and so I'm going to show you a couple of things that I teach my members, my coaching clients, my high-level coaching clients inside my program. One of my coaching clients named Ann, she's down over 100 pounds now. She joined about a year and a half ago, and at that time, she was 100 pounds heavier, and so she was experiencing a lot of aches and pains because of the weight gain. She was also taking a lot of medications. Okay. The high blood pressure and pain medications and things like that because of the excess weight, And when we did a client success story after she dropped like 50 pounds, and then we did another one on YouTube where she dropped over 100, and she was talking about how she came off so much medication. Not only did she feel better, did she have more energy, but she came off a lot of those medications. And so, a couple of things that I taught her, that I teach a lot of my coaching clients, and things that you guys can also apply into your life to not only lose the weight, but get rid of brain fog, have more energy. That way you can excel in your career and also in your personal life, okay? First thing is this. You have to start being aware. Most people are not aware, or they neglect being aware. It's almost like how some people neglect looking at their bank account. They're like, I don't want to look what's in there. It's only a couple of dollars. I don't even want to look. That's no good. Because how can you improve what you have no awareness around? How can you improve your finances? How can you improve your health if you're not aware? And so you have to go to the doctor. You have to be willing to check your blood pressure on a weekly or monthly basis. And even if you didn't go to the doctor, you can check your blood pressure by going somewhere like Walgreens or CVS. Like these types of places tend to have a little blood pressure thing where you can put your arm in there and then check your blood pressure. Okay? You can do this on a weekly basis. You can also do it on a monthly basis to gain that awareness. Because as a coach, as a high performance coach, it's highly predicated on holding you accountable to certain habits. Based on those habits is how we progress. If you don't have the right habits, you'll notice that you won't be progressing. Okay? And so that's the first thing, awareness. Second thing, these different things like strokes, high blood pressure, heart disease, they're lifestyle related. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people are very sedentary, you know. Outside of like health history, some people are more likely to have develop heart disease, but outside of family history, these things can be avoided by our lifestyle. And so this is why in my coaching program, one of the things that we do is what I call lifestyle-based training. Because most professionals have such a demanding schedule, such a demanding lifestyle and all the responsibilities at home that they find themselves being inconsistent with their workouts, find themselves being inconsistent with their eating habits, okay? And so this is why what we do inside the coaching program is what I call lifestyle-based training, where I give them a plan that's tailored to them, their fitness level, the amount of times that they can go to the gym based on their work schedule, the amount of time that they can actually spend in the gym based on how much time they have in a day, okay? And based on their fitness level also. I'm not gonna have, you know, somebody who's 100 pounds overweight or 75 pounds overweight doing sprints on a treadmill. They have too much weight on them. You can't have them do that. You gotta have something that fits their lifestyle, you know? And so that way they can have a plan that they can sustain. Because if you're following a plan that you can't sustain, as you're getting results, when you stop doing that plan because you can't sustain it, you're gonna lose the results. And so that's why you have to have a plan that supports your lifestyle. That's why we do lifestyle-based training, okay? That way, from that movement, exercise, that movement, walking, you know, I'm not talking about doing bodybuilder workouts. I'm talking about just walking. I'm talking about things like just doing moderate exercise, moderate cardio. It's going to improve. Most people look at this as just like weight loss and fat loss. No, this is health and wellness. This is energy management. This is stress management. This is one of the big reasons why I go to the gym. Most people think, oh, you just want to look good. Yeah, I want to look good, but also want to feel good. I don't want to have to stress or worry about health issues. That causes more stress because you're worried. The excess weight causes more stress on your energy and on your body. High likelihood of developing heart disease. Okay? The last thing is this: value-based nutrition. These are the types of things I teach my members. Value-based nutrition. Most folks just eat food out of pleasure and convenience. You always eating fast food because it's fast. I know your life busy, but if you're eating fast food all the time, that lets me know you're eating a lot of processed food all the time, which has more calories, making it harder for you to lose the weight, more excess ingredients, more fats, things like that, that clog up the arteries, that cause things like hypertension, that cause things like strokes, that cause things like heart disease, guys. These types of things slow you down. You can't outwork hypertension. You can't outwork a bad heart. You can only put so much stress on your body, man. If you want to perform at a high level in your career, but also have the energy and mental capacity to show up for your family, you have to be willing to take care of yourself. Most of the people who I help, they tend to take care of everybody else but themselves. And they wonder why they start looking up at the ceiling when they're getting ready to go to sleep, worrying and stressing about what's life going to look like in another 6 to 12 months if they don't start making some changes. What's life going to look like in another 3 to 5 years if they don't start making some changes. These things are very serious, man. I'm not saying you got to live like a bodybuilder. I'm not saying you got to be a fitness enthusiast. Guys, I'm not even a fitness enthusiast. I'm a high performance enthusiast. I just want to get better on a daily and weekly basis. How can I get better? How can I give myself that edge? If you're in a career where you have this trait of just wanting to perform, wanting to compete, it's got to be in you. It's in me to want to compete. I want my competition to do well. I don't wish them bad. I just want to do a little bit better. How can I do a little bit better? I got to have energy. How can I do a little bit better? I got to look the part. How can I do a little bit better to have energy? I got to eat right. I got to exercise. I got to make sure I'm sleeping. I got to understand how to manage my stress and my energy throughout the day. These are the same type of things you have to do as well. Most people who I help, they used to be athletes growing up. And even though you may not be an athlete anymore, you still can have the athlete mentality towards life, your career, and with your family. And that means competing against you, the version of you from yesterday, the version of you from last week, the version of you from last year. Are you getting better or are you getting worse? Which version of yourself is better? And if you're noticing that the life you have right now, fairly successful in your career, you're successful with your family, but you're losing with your health. These things happen chronically. You gain weight over time. It doesn't just, in a month, you gain 30, 40, 50 pounds. It happens over time. And so your health is getting worse. That's no good. And so you have to start looking at value-based nutrition. That way, you're eating foods that are going to give you energy. You're eating foods that are going to give you not just physical, but also mental energy. That way you can perform in your career. That way you don't have the brain fog. That way you're not feeling tired all the time, and taking all these breaks and don't feel like you have enough time in the day to get things done. That happens because your body, which is your vehicle, is breaking down. If you don't want your body to break down on you and hold you back from being able to perform the things that you truly want to perform in your life and do the things that you truly want to do at a high level, you have to start treating your body like a high level vehicle, not a broke down Pinto. You got to start treating your body like a Benz. You got to start treating your body like a Ferrari if you want it to perform at a high level, like a Ferrari or a Benz. If not, it won't produce for you. You'll want it to, but you won't feel like you'll internally, you'll feel like you're capable, but you won't be able to outperform your physiology. We cannot outperform our physiology. You can't outwork high blood pressure. This is how folks have heart attacks and strokes, because they're grinding so hard, their body isn't fit enough for that level of performance. If you want to perform at a high level, you have to take care of your body. That way, it gives you the ability to perform at that level. Folks I help work in tech, business owners, attorneys, nurses. These people have very demanding lives, very demanding, not just in their career, but also in their family life. How can you perform at a high level if you're tired all the time because of the weight? How can you perform at a high level if you're low vibration because you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I gotta do something about this. That's stress. That's worry. That stresses you out. Stress can also cause people to have heart disease. Worry, stress, sedentary lifestyle, lack of eating properly can cause people to have heart disease. Nowadays, people are not just in their 70s and 80s getting heart disease. It's people who are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s getting heart disease. Poor lifestyle habits, more stress. We see everything going up now because of inflation. Now we got to make more money. We got to put in more time and effort to make more money. And so you got to start looking at your body like a vehicle. Are you constantly making sure that you're keeping your vehicle clean? and being able to perform at a high level, like the cars you ride. You got the nice cars, you got the electric cars, you got the fancy luxury cars. You keep those things clean so they can ride well, so they can shine, so they can glow when they're riding down the street. What about your body? Your body is your number one vehicle. If you're not doing it with your body, you won't be able to perform at a high level. Hopefully y'all found this helpful, man. These are the types of things I teach my coaching clients inside my high performance coaching program, where we do weekly group coaching calls, one-on-one check-ins, weigh-ins, progress photos on a weekly basis, tailored workout routines that are tailored to your lifestyle and schedule, flexible nutrition, where you're able to eat foods you prefer to eat with structure, knowing your portions. If these are the types of things you want to be able to drop your next 30 plus pounds, I'll drop a link down in the description down below. That way you can make a decision on if this is something that's right for you. And with that said, guys, we are out of here. Let's go.